Okay, apparently I pressed that kind of early, so yeah. Blech. Okay, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do kick into the first game here of this finals. Mr. EmpireAristeo will be spawning down to the south here as the Blue Zergy. And over to the west, we do have Mr. mouzMaNa. Fantastic stuff, going to be spawning here as the Red Protoss. Now, you've got to remember, this is a best of 5, but for the most part, mouzMaNa will play a relatively passive PvZ with maybe some kind of Warp Prism Harass mixed in there in order to be able to kind of really kind of ramp up, you know, kind of try and do a little bit of economical damage, just keeping the Zerg in check, making sure he's not going crazy overboard with his Zerg drone production. Of course, Warp Prism Harass does come slightly later than your average play. Ooh. Okay, I was expecting Mr. Manago to go for a Forge Fast expand, because despite this being Shattered Temple, it's still possible to go for quite an easy Forge Fast, well, easy in inverted commas Forge Fast expand on this map. Can be doable. So he is going to go for a pylon at the top of his ramp, Gate and Cybernetics Core, and he has options from here. I mean, he could do something 1-basey, he could quite easily expand off this with a 1-gate or a 3-gate expand. All these kinds of things are possible. Aristeo does scout out his opponents, see exactly what's going on, notices the pylon on the high ground. So, what this is going to do is basically, Aristeo is going to be throwing down this spawning pool in gas, and he is going to get this spawning hatchery up at a relatively standard time after this, but off the back of this, he's not going to be able to claim as quick a third as he would normally like. Now, on Shattered Temple, this doesn't matter too much. The reason being is because claiming a third can be a bit difficult for a Zerg anyway, because of these destructible rocks at the gold and these destructible rocks at the ramp. So if you did want to claim a quick third anyway, it would end up being over here, and that's rife with a million problems. So not going to be wanting to do that at all. mouzMaNa, meanwhile, will be throwing down that Cybernetics Core, hopefully going to get a Zealot out anytime soon, in order to be able to block that off. But at the same time, he can quite easily go for a Stalker. I don't think he'll be going for any kind of super early aggression in the earlier stages of this, due to the fact that his opponent does have speed on the way anytime soon. So Stalkers do get chased down by speed relatively easily. You don't want to sacrifice Stalkers in the early game as well, so we'll have to see what does occur. Now, we have the second gas going to be going down for Mr. mouzMaNa, and off the back of this, again, he does have that Zealot on the way. Probe will end up dying, potentially. He's going to die. No, he's not going to die. Not yet, anyway. Need to recover some shields. He recovered some shields, he's not going to die. No, he's going to die. No, he's going to die. Okay, so, so close. There we go. So, he does get away. Or not get away, even. My brain is melting. And we do have the hatchery already going down now, going to start working on these destructible rocks. Again, Aristeo really wants to go for a quick relative third, but again, it's going to be rather difficult for him to do so. This gateway positioning is really weird. What is he doing? Okay, so he's getting sentries out, so he probably is just going to go for a 3-gate expand. And I don't know why we keep having a little bit of lag here, there, and everywhere, but that's not to worry. That is really weird lag. What the hell? It almost feels as if my PC is lagging, but there's almost no way my PC can be lagging. Okay, we have Creep Tumor already down, so Mr. Aristeo wants to get this creep connected up nice and quickly. And for the most part, we had like one mirror matchup in this entire tournament, which is really weird. Normally I have about 1 billion mirror matchups. So, okay, as you can see, these Zerglings do see exactly everything that's going on in the front of mouzMaNa's base, sees the amount of sentries that he's invested in currently. He saw the 2 sentries with that initial poke-up with those Zerglings, so he will know that he is probably going for an expansion. You couldn't really kind of hide tech whilst going for this many sentries, so we'll be expanding anytime soon. Meanwhile, hallucination going down. Oh yeah, we had a TV too. I forgot about that. But it was like a best of 1 in the proxy barracks, so... oh dear. Okay, so hallucination. I love this play. So, getting hallucination out, not only wants to see his opponent's tech, but also wants to see his opponent's timings on gases, wants to see his opponent's timings on a third if it has gone up per chance, although it's very rare in this situation. But the big thing he's wanting to spot here is his opponent going for a lair very quickly, or is he going for a spire very quickly? If either of those two things do click the yes button, I guess that's how I'm going to word it. I've decided that's good. Then he could quite easily go for a big gateway timing and crush his opponent there and then. The reason being is, you know, when you end up throwing down a spire, you're saving a lot of money for that. There's a big timing window where you can actually hit and end up doing almost crippling damage to your opponent, if not killing them. So we have Forge and Gateway on the way for Mr. mouzMaNa. He will be able to do some scooting. There we go. He's already doing the scooting. He has that Phoenix on the way, but interestingly enough, I really would like to see him scout the rocks, and he is going to scout. No, go! Yes, scout the rocks. Yes, Mr. mouzMaNa. Yeah, okay. So we scout the rocks. He sees that his opponent wants to take that relatively quick third. Awesome stuff. And what do we have going on? Maynard and Twilight Council are going to be going down. This is very common. Rushing to that +1, rushing to +2, then +3, and then also going for Blink as well, able to keep your opponent in check. We have the lair already going down. And this is the big thing now, okay, I quote this every single time we go into a PvZ, and every time we see hallucination being researched, but Grubby right now, just in general, is absolutely fantastic in PvZ, and the reason he's so fantastic in PvZ is because when you see Grubby play PvC, he always gets hallucination, and he always has hallucinated phoenixes over and around his opponent's base, literally all game long. And you keep these Phoenix just bouncing around there in those areas. And look at this also, using these Phoenix to not only get the scouting information, but kill off these overlords on these high grounds. So for the given map, mouzMaNa might be using this as this hallucination as a completely map situational use, which would be very clever indeed in terms of picking off these overlords. Aristeo is not supply blocked. He has claimed his third. He's getting Roaches and Glittering Constitution out, as well as a Hydralisk Den. But again, you know, what was I saying before this? Yeah, okay, so Grubby with hallucination. Jeez, it just... this is what we're seeing from Mana right now. If he can just keep an eye on his opponent's bases for the entire game, then he's going to be in an amazing situation. He is moving out to the middle of the map, though. Zergling is going to be going for a little bit of a counter-attack. Nice movements there by Aristeo! And does not get the full wall off. Actually, he's blocked himself out here. That is not the best situation to be in. So these Zerglings are going to be able to kill off a few more probes than he would have expected. Look at this, retreating to these units. Going to try and get there as quickly as possible. There we go. Being able to kill off those. But at the same time, that was a very nice run by Aristeo, killing off 8 or about 6 probes. So, very cool indeed. All gateways are down. Blink does finish up, and he will be chrono boosting out +2 in just a second. Rubber facility down, and for now, Aristeo doing a great job of creep spreading here. Ooh, Vengeful Sacs. Ooh, okay, so normally what we end up seeing with Vengeful Sacs and Phenumized Carapace being researched is either a huge drop into the main, or Baneling drops. And, you know, if he goes for Infestors as well, coupled with Infestors, Baneling drops work absolutely phenomenally. Right now he's not going for Infestors, but he will end up getting that Infestation Pit eventually to go up to Hive Tech. To have Robo Bay going down, it looks like he wants to break down these rocks here to stifle the third of mana, and this is a very nice play indeed. For the most part, if you're a Protoss on this map and you don't see your opponent taking a quick going for a quick spire, you'll generally take the third here as opposed to here, because, you know, it's a little bit more protected, and if you were to take the third here against Mutalisks, you run the risk of spreading yourself way too thin, and that can be so hard to deal with from there on. Ooh, okay, so does fend that off for now. More Hydralisks and Roaches are on the way, and again, Aristeo is doing a fantastic job of spreading his creep, so that is good to see. Sees the Roaches are still here, so... what will we have going on? Looks like Observer is moving out, and again, I wouldn't mind like a little bit of a hit force over here to be able to try and kill off... Uh-oh. What is this? This is dun 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 dun. Blinkstalk is coming back here, but is it going to be enough to be able to deal with this ridiculous amount of units? And oh, actually, he just picks up, and that was rather anticlimactic. I was hyping that up. Oh, but look at that! He actually snipes off one of the overlords that had the units in. How did he know? How did he know? Oh my god. Okay, so at the same time he is hitting the net third, so he's going to be able to try and deny this, if possible. What? How did he know that one was the one that had loaded up? I guess that was just really, really watchful views there. Okay, so he's going to be able to take out the force up here. Going to be able to stifle the attack from here as well. Aristeo really putting on the pressure, but it's not really working out for the poor guy. God, mana is everywhere at once. Look at this, he even has an observer following this middle task force. Oh, dear me. So that theme tune was slightly, I guess, dun 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 dun. It just didn't work. It just, oh my god, he's like picked up and went away again. So, anyway, gonna be able to push in here, trying to do what he can. There are Blink Stalkers here, though. He's getting Thermal Lance as well as Colossus. Spire is on the way. So, again, he actually needs to... Again, he should just be hallucinating some more Phoenix and just checking out his opponent, see what's going on. No reason not to. I suppose he doesn't have too much energy saved up, so he wants the potential force fields later on. Look at this, though. Another probe, going to be able to scout out this coming up. I don't think that was intentional scout. I just think he wanted to go and attack somewhere else. But, you know, that's all good. So, it looks like he will be caught here, though, by the Blink Stalkers. Does have +2 weapons, whilst the... He has 0 upgrades. He's only now just getting the upgrades. Oh, no! The Zerg is going to be in a terrible position because he has no upgrades. I mean, that wasn't the greatest engagement of all time anyway, but that is dire. All these Hydra are going to go down very fast, and the Colossus does get sniped off. That was... Aristeo with your focus fire. That was very nice indeed. Meanwhile, we had a little bit of a drop in the main. Going to be able to take out quite a few of the probes, although a lot of them were transferred... No, they weren't. A lot of them were not transferred away. Oh, dear me. 35 workers killed, finally cleaned up. But right now, unit counting station shows 40 probes to 70 drones. And Mana in a bit of a scary position right now, despite Aristeo only being on these 3 base. And Mana needs to really heavily drone probe up as fast as he possibly can do. Is he rallied to that assimilator? No! No! Oh no, that is pretty scary. So, Blink Stalkers in mid-ground, going to be engaging with some Stalkers, but oh, he needs to notice this! Oh god. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, he's got 6 guys on there right now, and he needs every single mineral he can get right now. This, if anything, I mean, apart from killing those guys, 6 workers, apart from killing off all of these probes, this is really, really bad for Mana. Again, he needs every probe he can get, and, yeah, he needs, oh, he's finally he's realised, oh, thank God. Oh, God, that made me have a heart attack. So, yeah, indeed, he really did need that gas, apparently. But yeah, off these 3 Nexi, if he wants to just Chrono Boost every single one of them, he can catch up. I mean, it's gonna hurt, but Aristeo, off the back of this, has been sacrificing a lot of units and has not been aggressively expanding behind it. At this point in time, if it was someone like Stefano, he would have every single one of these bases, and he would have such an amazing economy that it would be very hard for the Protoss to do anything of it. At the same time, though, that being said, that is a huge force for Aristeo. Gonna be pushing in. Guardian Shield does go down to soak up as much of the damage as possible, but once this Colossus goes down, it's going to be very, very difficult for Mana to actually deal with here. And oh dear me, Blink Stalkers against Roach Hydra is not going to be the best situation. He does have +3 weapons to the 1-1 of this. Oh, a second Colossus actually appears, and look at this, Mana realizing that this Colossus is the only way he's going to win this engagement, starts focusing down the Corruptors as quickly as he possibly can do, but at the same time, the Colossus trying to move back, and oh dear me, it's going to go down. The Stalkers just do not kill the Corruptors quickly enough, and that looks like it's going to be that for Mana, as, oh, more Hydras become rallied in here. Gee, what the... Mana turns into a Korean, and we're going to go on to game 2.